All right, fender removal on the 2013 to 2015 Ford Escape. All right, so I told someone in the comments I would make a video pulling the passenger side fender for them, since I still had the car around. Then I pulled it up. It's been, man, probably 5-6 months before I've worked on this thing, or since I've worked on this thing. And I forgot there's a few things that are actually extremely fragile and breakable in this. So I'm going to do my best to shoot this and explain it very thoroughly without actually taking anything apart on this car. Luckily I have a spare fender over there for when we built this, and an entire spare car in the back. So step one, so if you need to get this fender off here, right, there's a few hidden bolts on here. If we go take a look over at this passenger fender that's already been removed, we can see we have two 10 mil bolts on the bottom. We have two that come in this side here. We have two on the top side rail, one up here that's covered by the cowl, and one in on the side. So this is where you run into problems with me trying to rip it apart now, potentially breaking things. This plastic filler panel here, these clips are very, very breakable. You're pretty much guaranteed to break them, to be honest. I haven't figured out a way not to do it. They're cheap. You can order them online. You can find some makeshift ones at O'Reilly's, I'm pretty sure, or get them from the dealership. They're only a few bucks. So it's hard to break the plastic. It's really easy to break the clips. So just expect to break those clips when you pull it off. I don't have any extras, so I don't want to do it, but I have an extra one so I can show you how it goes on in the back car. So we'll go back there real quick and I'll show you how that thing works. All right, here we are at the parts car. So you'll see here, you have these two retaining holes, and the third one, I believe, goes on the fender. This plastic piece comes in here like this. So in this location, this location, this location, you'll have a clip. Those clips hold onto here. Those clips are, again, pretty much guaranteed to break. They're the same thing that's gonna hold the wheel lip liner on, which we'll address in a second. But I'll come over here. I think there's still a broken one on this side. Yeah, so you got two broken ones here. So you can get the wheel lip liner ones out. So here's a fork. I'm just destroying them right now to get them out and show you. But well, that one just kind of disintegrated. Essentially, it's just a V shape on the back that you need to squeeze and push out, but there is no access to the back of this panel. So you essentially just have to break these and replace them. It's the only way that I found to go about it. But if you look in here, you see those, how it's kind of V-shaped. Still can't even get it out. So now we're just going to push it off in there. This is what you don't want to do, but it's gone. It's in there. So these three clips, definitely going to break them, at least in my experience. Get that pulled off, get those clips out of there, get new ones, then they just click in. So make sure you're completely done and happy with all of your fits before you click those in, because to get them back off, you're gonna break the clips. Also, you'll see I'm using these metal forks here. Very much not recommended. This is a parts car, so I just thought I could pry them out with that more carefully. To actually remove the plastic, you probably want something along the lines of these trim tools. These are plastic and they're not gonna scratch your paint all up. All right, now that we've addressed that, once you've removed this plastic triangle here, with its three clips, one front side, two back side, hopefully in a wiser way than I've been able to develop, where you save the clips, but most likely just breaking them. Next step is going to be to remove the wheel liner. So you just take out these push pins here. Let's see, 7 mils down here, push pins all up in here. You'll find them everywhere. It's pretty simple. Pop those push pins out. In that case, you can use a pair of forks like these, or even a plastic set if you prefer, like these ones. Get those push pins popped out, this wheel liner will come right out. It's a lot easier to do with your tire off, but it can be done with the tire on. You probably want to put it up in the air though, so you can turn it by hand. It makes life a heck of a lot easier. Once that wheel liner is out, remove the 7 mil bolts, front side of the wheel lip molding, the push pins all down the edge here. And if you reach underneath to the back side, you'll feel the same style little clips that were behind this triangle. You just squeeze them with your fingers and push them out. You can save every one of these with no problem, because you have access to the backside. So once you've removed the wheel liner and the wheel lip molding, then you will have exposed both of these fasteners down here. With the triangle out, this fastener is exposed, leaving only your connection to the front bumper, your upper bolts, and this one. So once you pull the wheel well, the bolt that comes through this side is going to be covered by this piece of foam, but it just pulls right out. So there'll be a piece of foam up in here like this. So you just shove it in there when you put it back, and to remove it, you just pull it out. So it fits in there pretty snug against the side of the vehicle. Real easy and straightforward, but it's going to cover up the 10 mil that shoots from the inside. Here's a real quick in the door jamb here. Here's a real quick view of the back side of that bolt that's going to come in from the back side, so you can see the foam pressed up there. You just pull that out. A lot of vehicles, or a lot of manufacturers, shoot the screw from this direction, so it's a little confusing the first time you do it, but it's actually shot that direction from underneath. Okay, so once you've exposed all your backside fasteners, you have your front side fasteners to deal with. So you have 3 10 mil bolts. I believe they come in this direction, but they could possibly come from the backside. You'll easily be able to tell once this wheel liner's out. So just find the 3 10 mils. Those will drop the front of this fascia here. It'll pull out with clips here that I also don't want to damage, but it's tough to damage them. They click into the bottom of the headlight here as a retainer, so you just pull outward in this direction. Just a nice pop. Make sure you take this 10 mil out first. So 10 mil here, 2 or 3 10 mils here, and then this whole section will pull back. Just give it a pop. There's a retainer underneath, but it shouldn't be in the way. To just pull this back a bit. That'll give you access to take out this 10 mil and a side 10 mil for the headlight. The whole headlight will come out, and then you'll have access to everything you need underneath for the fender. So if you look over here, it'll be 2 10 mils just right here on the sides. This is a headlight right here, goes into this J nut. So once your headlight's out, you can access both of these, and that front end is free. Once you got these 2 following that, and that leaves 1 singular 10 mil underneath this cowl. You can't really fold this up to get to it. It has to come out. So what you have to do is first pull your windshield wipers. A lot of people have problems with these, so when you pull this, getting them back into the correct orientation. So I would suggest maybe cleaning your glass and making some sort of mark for a reference line on where your blade was laying in its current position. Pulling these nuts off, popping them off, and making sure you get them back in the same location. I didn't have any problems whenever I put them back on, but I may have just been lucky. Once you have your windshield wipers off, you have a 10 mil bolt here, a 10 mil bolt here, and then all of these little metal clips all the way down the front side. You take all these off. They're very easy to get off. You can probably do it by hand if you try hard enough, like this. Oop. That's digging in a bit, but you get the point. So you just pull these off straight out, just like that, all the way off. Boom. And then this will just lift right off. Punk. Exposing your final 10 mil bolt. Take that off. Be careful not to hit your door, and your fender is free. And then you just rinse and repeat to put it back on. So again, looking at the parts fender over here, 2 10 mil bolts, the headlight bolt, so the headlight has to come off before you get to these, 3 10 mil bolts, and I don't know which direction they go. They may come up from the bottom side of the bumper, or they may come from the top side down. Once your wheel liner's out, you can get to either side, so it doesn't really matter. You just have to look and see. 2 10 mils on the bottom, that's covered up by the wheel lip molding. This behind the almost guaranteed to break plastic triangle, and then your one up top underneath the cowl. And that's really all there is to it. Sorry I didn't actually take anything apart. I had forgot that you are guaranteed to break plastic clips when you start tearing this thing apart. So I prefer to not do that on this vehicle since it's completely finished. But yeah, if you have any more questions, I'll be happy to try and answer them for you. You want to pay attention to your body fitments when you put your new fender on here. This is going to naturally fit. It's just going to suck up whenever you bolt it. So you really, it's just your headlight fitment and your body fitments. So as long as those stay even and true and are correct, whenever you put your fender on, be very careful and test when you open your door to make sure it's not too tight. It doesn't drag and knock off paint. That I have done that previously, not on this vehicle, but others for sure. All in all, it's not too bad of a job. It involves some rolling around. Like I said, make sure you put it up on a jack stand at least so you can move this tire around. But removing it would be ideal. It gives you a ton more room. It's just a lot easier. I'm often lazy and I don't do that. But, you know, to each their own. Good luck. And let me know if you need any more help.